All right, get ready, because we're diving deep today into some seriously fun ways to learn English.
Oh, sounds exciting.
We're taking inspiration from, get this, a podcast also called Fun Ways to Learn English. So,
Whoa, how meta is that?
right.
Yeah.
But basically, we want to help you find ways to make learning English more enjoyable, more effective.
Absolutely. Less textbook, more real world.
And speaking of real world, one thing the podcast points out is that English is pretty fun on its own.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's got all those quirky idioms and slang.
Yeah, like spill the beans, for example.
Exactly. It's so much more colorful than just saying tell a secret.
Right. It's engaging, makes you think.
It makes you smile, too, sometimes.
Exactly. The language is always changing.
Okay, so I have a confession, though. Sometimes I get a little intimidated using idioms.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I worry I'll sound silly,
I think a lot of people feel that way.
But maybe that's part of the fun.
Yeah, maybe.
Pushing yourself outside that comfort zone.
Exactly. It's finding that balance, accuracy, but also, like you said, that authentic expression.
So true. Now, the podcast, they jump right into using entertainment as a learning tool.
No, that's a good word.
It's like you're sneaking a workout in while watching TV or something.
Sneaky learning.
Right. And what's cool is it actually hits multiple learning styles at once.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about it. When you're watching a movie or TV show in English,
Yeah.
especially with subtitles,
Right?
you're seeing the words, you're hearing them, you're reading them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
So that's visual, auditory, reading, all working together.
Wow. Multitasking for the brain.
I know. I usually have subtitles on because I'm scared of missing stuff.
Sure.
But now I realize it's like a triple workout.
It is. And you're also picking up on so much more than just the words.
Oh, like what?
Well, body language, cultural nuances.
Oh, right. The context of how people actually use the language.
Exactly. It's all part of understanding, truly understanding.
It's like absorbing English just by watching. Exactly. And speaking of watching, they specifically recommend Friends.
Oh, Friends.
But I have a question about that.
Yeah.
I've heard some people say the language is a bit dated.
That's a good point.
Is it still useful for learning modern English?
It's a valid question.
Yeah.
While some slang or internet speak might be outdated,
Yeah.
Friends still provides a very solid foundation in conversational, everyday English.
Okay, so it's still a good starting point.
I'd say so, as long as you're aware of the context, right?
Right, maybe supplement with something newer.
Exactly. Strike a balance between the classics and what's hot right now.
So start with Friends, then level up.
Exactly. And here's another tip. Don't be afraid to, try mimicking the characters.
Oh, like doing impressions.
Yeah. Might feel a bit silly at first, but
I'm not the best at impressions.
think about it. Imitating pronunciation, intonation.
Yeah, I guess it could help get those sounds right.
Exactly. Practice in private first, maybe.
Okay, next up, music. This is where I excel. I love to sing along to English songs, even if I don't always get every word.
Oh, I think we all do that.
Right. And the podcast suggests, get this, having a karaoke night with friends
Ooh,
to practice.
it's a fun one.
It's low pressure. Everyone's just having fun.
And music helps with memorization, too.
It does. How do they explain that?
Think about it. You ever catch yourself singing a song in a language you barely know?
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's because the melody, the rhythm, it creates this framework, right?
Like a language to stick.
Exactly. It just gets in there.
I can still remember jingles from when I was a kid in English.
Wow, the power of music.
It's pretty incredible.
It is. All right, moving on to another fun way, games.
Oh, I love games.
This podcast specifically mentions Among Us and Scrabble Go.
Oh, nice choices.
They can be surprisingly good learning tools.
I'm a huge gamer, and I always feel like I'm learning while playing,
Right.
but I never really thought about it as like a strategy.
But think about Among Us. You have to communicate in English.
True, to convince everyone you're not the imposter.
Right, and the stakes are high, so it pushes you to use the language more creatively.
Oh, I see. It's like immersion, but through gameplay.
Exactly.
And Scrabble Go, forget about it, vocabulary central.
Oh, yeah, building that vocabulary.
Trying to outsmart your opponents.
And what's so great about games is that competitive element.
Oh, it keeps you coming back for more?
You're having so much fun, you don't realize how much you're learning.
Sneaky learning again.
Sneaky's good.
It is. Okay, so we've covered entertainment, games. What's next on this deep dive?
Let's get social, shall we? Explore the world of learning with others, practicing in real-world settings.
Oh, social learning, count me in. Let's hear it.
This is where things get really exciting.
I can't wait.
But good luck.
Social learning, huh? I mean, I do love connecting with people,
Oh, it's a game changer, trust me.
especially if it helps me practice my English.
Absolutely. Make new friends along the way.
So where do we start?
Well, the podcast recommends English-speaking clubs or communities,
Makes sense.
both online and offline.
So options. I like it.
Yeah, they mention apps like Meetup, Discord.
Oh, Meetup. I've used that for hiking groups.
See? It's all about finding those shared interests, connecting with people.
So you could do the same thing, but for English conversation.
Exactly, discussing stuff you're actually passionate about.
Right. It's not just about the language then. It's like the community.
It is. It's building a community around learning.
Instead of just grammar rules, it's like sharing experiences.
Yeah, exchanging ideas, supporting each other,
That sounds way less intimidating than just like studying alone.
Oh, for sure. It takes the pressure off. Creates a safe space to practice.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? What other social learning magic is there?
All right, get ready for this. Language exchange.
Language exchange.
Yep. Connecting with native speakers, getting real cultural insights.
Okay, I've always been curious about that, but kind of nervous too.
Oh, yeah. What's holding you back?
What if my English isn't good enough to, like, teach someone else?
That's a common fear, but remember, it's a two-way street.
True. I guess I'd be learning too.
Exactly. Your partner's probably learning just like you.
Right, so we'd be helping each other.
And there are apps that can help, find the right match.
Like what?
Tandem, Hello Talk, they connect you with people at your level.
With similar interests, hopefully?
Exactly. It's like having this global classroom at your fingertips.
Technology is pretty wild when you think about it.
It is. Connects us all.
And with language exchange, it's not just one way, right?
No, not at all. You get exposed to different accents, dialects,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
cultural perspectives. It's all part of understanding the nuance.
It's real English, not just textbook stuff.
Exactly. Real people, real conversations.
I remember when I first started watching English movies, I was so confused by the different accents.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was doing something wrong, but then I realized that's just how it is.
It's the beauty of it, the diversity.
That's a lot to take in, though.
It is, but the more you hear it, the more comfortable you get.
Like training your ears.
Exactly. Appreciating the symphony of English sounds.
I like that. Okay, so we've got clubs, communities, language exchange, anything else in the social learning realm.
Oh, one more, and it's a big one.
Okay, lay it on me.
Content creation.
Content creation. What do you mean?
Making stuff in English, blogging, YouTube channels, even podcasts like this.
Whoa, that's next level.
It is, but think about it. Sharing your thoughts, passions in English.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
And it forces you to really think about the language.
Oh, how so?
You're not just passively consuming, you're actively producing it.
Right. I guess that would help me learn.
It does, internalizing grammar rules, vocabulary, all of it.
So it's like turning learning into a creative project.
Exactly. It's an adventure, expressing yourself, connecting with people.
Maybe even inspiring people.
And who knows, maybe even helping other English learners.
That's like a whole learning ecosystem then.
It is. Learning, sharing, growing together.
All right, I'm sold on social learning for sure.
Good. Glad to hear it.
So what's next? Where do we go from here in this deep dive?
Let's get a little techie, shall we? Explore the world of language learning apps and tools.
Oh yeah, I love apps.
I'm sure you've heard of some of these, but you might be surprised by what's out there.
Okay, let's dive in.
Time to open that digital toolbox.
Okay, apps. I feel like there's a new one every day.
It's a lot, right? Like, where do you even start?
Which ones are actually good?
Good question. The podcast highlights a few, like the classics,
Oh, the classic.
Duolingo, Memrise, Babbel, those kinds.
Oh yeah, I've tried I like how they make it like a game.
Exactly. Gamification, it keeps people engaged.
It's way better than just like boring flashcards.
It's so much more fun.
And effective, hopefully.
They actually use some cool techniques, too.
Like what?
Have you heard of microlearning and spaced repetition?
Maybe. Those sound kind of fancy.
They are, but basically, microlearning is breaking things down into small chunks.
Okay, that makes sense. Easier to digest.
And spaced repetition is like revisiting the info at different intervals.
Oh, so it's not just cramming all at once.
Right. It's about making it stick in your long-term memory.
So these apps are kind of like smart coaches.
Yeah, they optimize how you learn.
Interesting. Okay, so beyond apps, what else is in our tech toolbox?
Well, good old YouTube.
Oh yeah, YouTube's got everything.
They recommend some specific channels, though. English Addict with Mr. Steve.
Oh, I love him. He's so energetic.
Right. And Rachel's English for pronunciation.
She's great too. I've seen her videos.
What's cool about YouTube is So many different teaching styles.
Yeah, you can find what works for you.
Whether it's humor, visuals, whatever.
It's personalized learning.
Exactly. Now, this one's a bit meta.
Oh.
AI chatbots.
Oh, for language practice?
Think about it. We're on a podcast talking about AI helping us learn.
It's very fitting.
AI's come a long way. ChatGPT, for example.
Oh, yeah, everyone's talking about that.
You can practice speaking, writing, no fear of making mistakes.
Because it's not a real person judging you.
Exactly. And it's available 24/7.
Like a personal tutor in your pocket.
The future of learning, maybe?
Okay, I'm ready for those unconventional methods now.
All right, buckle
I
up.
want to hear those out-of-the-box tips.
First up, cooking recipes in English.
Cooking.
Yeah, think about it. You're learning vocab, measurements, and
You get a delicious meal out of it.
exactly, a win-win.
I'm already hungry.
It's engaging all your senses, right? Hands-on learning.
Plus, new recipes, impressing friends, all that.
Exactly. Next, Post-it notes.
Post-it notes. What, like for writing vocab?
Well, more like labeling stuff around your house.
Oh, that's clever.
Turn your home into an English learning zone.
I like it. You're constantly seeing the words then.
And it's visual, repetition, good for memory.
Sneaky learning again.
Always sneaky. All right, last one.
Okay, hit me with it.
Jokes and puns.
Jokes.
In English, of course.
I love a good pun.
It helps you understand the nuances, the humor.
It's like a cultural puzzle.
It is. You're not just learning the language, you're playing with it.
That's a good way to put it.
So before we wrap up this deep dive, learning a language, it can be tough sometimes.
Oh, for sure. There are definitely moments of frustration.
It's important to remember that, though. Those feelings are normal.
It's good to hear that. Like, everyone goes through it.
Absolutely. What's important is creating a supportive environment,
So surrounding yourself with encouraging people
Finding resources that inspire you.
and being kind to yourself, probably most importantly.
Couldn't agree more. So I think we've covered a lot today.
From movies to music, games to AI, even Post-it notes.
A whole buffet of options.
It's amazing how many ways there are to learn.
And this is just the starting point, really.
The key is finding what works for you.
Exactly. Experiment. Have fun with it.
Don't be afraid to get creative. Make it your own journey.
Well said. So to all our listeners out there, we have a question for you.
What unique, maybe even unexpected ways can you think of to make learning English more enjoyable?
We'd love to hear your ideas.
So keep exploring, keep learning, keep having fun.
Until next time.
So yeah.